You look a lot
I
like
look
him.
like old Johnny Cage for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, that's actually my next complaint about the movie. Well, actually, I'll just go through this. The characters, as far as the characters I didn't like, Cole and Raiden were weak, bro. Weak. Did you like Raiden's character? We talked about Cole already, but Raiden, I don't know if that was the actor that played him. I feel like he wasn't powerful. I feel like he wasn't old enough. I just don't know.
I think they purposely had in the whole not powerful thing because they were trying to really reiterate the whole he can't take part in anything type situation.
Which, let me point out, that's a minor thing. He said one time during the movie, he was like, I can't get involved. Shang Tsung is going around completely breaking the rules of the Mortal Kombat tournament like crazy. He's murdering the fucking combatants. And he's like, well, wait a minute. I can't fucking do anything because it's against the rules. Come on, dude. Shang Tsung's
Yeah,
murdering everybody, dude. The rules are out the window, bro.
I guess that whole concept is the gods go by a different set of rules. So
Evalian, what do you think about the, not so much the act. I don't want to hate criticizing the actor because I think he delivered his lines okay, but I don't know. I felt like Raiden was weak.
Yeah, I wish that we could have seen a little bit more because I mean it was kind of clear that he was interfering in any which way, shape, and form he can, and I mean also the vagueness of what you would consider interfering. I didn't exactly know where to draw the line. Was delivering a kunai interfering? Was stepping in between interfering? Was setting up that barrier interfering? Was like I don't know exactly what they were hoping to get across when they
See,
stated that.
and what you're saying right now, there's lots of shit especially watching the second time, there's lots of stuff in the movie like that. It's like, it's Mortal Kombat. Don't try to think about it too much, but at the same time, it's like, that wasn't really, that wasn't established before, and now they could do it now. And it's like, it's just something to make the plot go along, which I understand. Okay, it's Mortal Kombat.
They hit you with one of those things. It's a statement I like to say a lot. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Exactly.
Right.
It really does. And that's really the whole movie. It does make sense if you don't think about it too much. That's true. I will say what I did like about the movie, though. I would say, and actually I saw this on Twitter too. People agree. One, I like Molina, but Kano, I thought was very powerful.
Kano,
Favorite
that's
character.
one of my list of likes. That Kano's personality, his character, the cast for him, even the betrayal at the end. No matter kind of how dumb it was, but
Yeah.
I'll get into that later. I think he played his part fucking perfectly. I think Kano was the best character in the Mortal Kombat movie. And
I agree. And
hands down.
I think they added a comic relief. And let me ask you this, Koopa, because you're a better fan maybe of the games, but I thought he was a good, almost like a comic relief character, but he was actually funny. And I feel like maybe they added Kano in, not really added it in, but added his comic relief in to make a relief for what Johnny Cage should be doing. Is Kano that funny in the games? Because for me, Kano was a bad guy in the games. He was not really funny at all. In this movie, he was pretty funny.
The whole sarcastic asshole aspect of it, yes, that is very much Kano. Now, some of the one-liners he was digging in, that felt more like Johnny Cage.
It's a shame because you want to like Kano, and then he ends up. It kind of flips like that too. Like all
No,
he
it
has.
actually, with him doing what he did, that 100% sums up Kano's personality.
Well, and that's one thing they didn't establish in the movies. What's Kano's relationship with Cabal? Because they know each other, but in the movie they never established that. It's like they're bickering kind of for a second. Go ahead.
That's an issue with the movie actually, because the way things went down with Cabal saying that Kano was the reason he was in the long, that's not true. Anybody who played the games knows that Cabal got roasted alive by Kentaro. Fire breathing. Got it.
Everybody knows that. Come on.
Yeah, everybody knows that. So
like sure, yeah.
And Kano actually saved him. Straight up, like he's the one who actually kept him alive. And then Shang Tsung used abilities to try to heal his lung, and that's how Cabal ended up being able to run fast. His ability to like super speed, that's from Shang Tsung.
Well, that's the thing with the movie though. They can't go into that backstory and shit.
Yeah.
All they established in the movie is that somehow Kano and Cabal know each other, and
they were both a part of Black Dragon.
Okay, so somehow, and I will admit I'm ignorant to that fact. I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, the games, but I don't really know that. And it was kind of, that's the problem with having a movie that has so many characters to it, and they're trying to build up maybe the little bit of backstory. So they really had no backstory for Cabal, except that he was kind of used to be a friend of, a fucking, it's just, of Kano, yes.
The thing with
So,
Cabal though is there's so much backstory there. Like he went Black Dragon, then he went
well,
Cop.
that's it. They
then-
fried him, so he's dead.
Yeah.
That's the thing with a lot of the fucking characters, I think.
Yeah,
And that's okay because there's so many. You know, you got Jack, and honestly, the rest of the characters, the one character I liked was Kano and Molina. That's two I liked. And Molina was, I mean, she had probably 2 sentences in the whole fucking movie. But
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Jax introduced in the second game? He wasn't even in the first game.
I'm not
Very
sure if
first Mortal
Jack. I'm
Kombat,
not sure if Jax
was not there.
No, I
Jax
think he was
introduced
without the
into
metal arms,
series.
maybe.
No, Jax was introduced into the series in the second game.
That could be true. And Jax was cool too, but it's like you can't love like Cabal's the only character that I actually liked a lot, like I had a connection with. As far as all the other characters, including Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Sonya and Jax and everybody else, it was like, yeah, they're there and they're doing the shit that they do in the game, but it's like I have no real connection with them in the movies. In the movie, you know, that's how I felt. Chris or Evalian, you got it?
Yeah, I want to talk about 3 characters in particular.
Go on.
One of them being Liu Kang. I was actually pretty happy with Liu Kang's character overall. I was more at ease that Liu Kang wasn't made the main character again. I thought that was a little refreshing, to be honest. I would like to talk about 2 characters that I think were done absolutely dirty, and I was very upset about.
I probably concur with it. I want to get on that next. Go ahead.
I want to talk about first is fucking what I assume was Reptile.
Was that though?
Yes.
That was no.
I'm
It
going
wasn't.
to assume was fucking Reptile.
If that was Reptile, that's appalling.
So
how dirty he was done again. Like, give this man like fucking more than 2 minutes on screen without just.
He wasn't even referred to as like Reptile fighter. It was that's why I don't think it was. Maybe they're saving for part 2. But literally, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sure you have. But they saved him for like a set piece fight where they needed a fight, and it lasted what, a minute. And Reptile got fucked up.
Fucking heart ripped out. And
that was actually Reptile.
That's offensive.
So you guys
That's
know.
offensive. That's offensive, Koopa.
Upset about that. And then the next one was Jax got 10 seconds. Jax got his arms for 10 seconds.
But where did they put him in that 10 seconds though?
I get that.
They put him on the pit.
And I was actually very happy about that, dude. That was my the call back to the map. But like, dude, Jax lifted a rock and fought one dude. I was all like,
that. Well, I could actually forgive that kind of because I know they got a lot of characters to deal with. But his arc is like he got his arms ripped off. And by the way, Koopa, that happens different in the game. You're probably offended, right?
No, it happens. Yeah. It has happened in like different games. So many different kinds. He's had his arms destroyed by now. Sub-Zero, Ermac,
man,
Shang Tsung.
The game is rough. Anyway, in the
just
movie, his arms get frozen and he gets fucked up. His arc though, it feels that's the thing with the whole movie though. Every single character in the movie, their arc, it happens like it's like you don't get invested really. It's like, okay, Jax gets his fucking arms off. Now he's back somehow in the temple. I'm not going to explain how he fucking even got to that temple because what's the point? It's Mortal Kombat, whatever. He's there now because Liu Kang saved him, whatever the fuck. And now he's got these little fucking baby arms that are metal, and then he like grew to be more powerful, and he's accepted. It's such like a simple arc that lasts really, like you said, 5 minutes almost, and that's supposed to do it. Which I know I'm complaining right now, I'm nitpicking, but
no, I was very upset about it. Like, and like in this leads into a conversation about how the whole Arcana thing works in all seriousness. But is Jax's Arcana really just him growing new metal arms over new metal arms?
Yeah, that's pretty much
it.
it.
Arcana?
Like,
and what about,
since we're talking about Arcanas, what about Sonya's Arcana? It made no sense either.
I am not upset about Sonya's ability to use Arcana, and
but how did she get it? Okay, go ahead. How'd she get in the movie though?
No.
Oh, she got it from killing Kano.
How does she? How is that established in the movie where you kill somebody and you obtain Arcana by killing somebody?
Oh, that was established a few times. Yeah, that was established.
Bullshit.
From how Jax got it. How Jax got it.
Yeah, Sonya
Jax didn't kill anybody.
Jax got it.
Yeah, he did.
They were on deployment.
They were on a mission. Yeah.
Yeah, they were on a deployment, and he wound up there. She was talking about how her entire platoon or something like that were getting their freaking asses beat, and then Jax wound up
superpowers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he wound up.
So that explains. Okay,
Yeah.
they explained the mark. They didn't explain how he has small metal arms and then he has big metal arms. They explain. I know
That's
the mark. You
Arcana
kill.
thing. Yeah.
You kill the person that has a mark and you get the mark yourself. I understand that part. But as
Yeah.
far as well, and that's okay. So I understand what you're saying though. Actually, I kind of missed that because she got the mark from Kano, but then
Yes.
automatically. That's another argument, though. All these other people are trying to figure out what their Arcana is. She kills Kano, immediately somehow teleports back to the temple and is throwing her little fucking Sonya balls. And is like, guess what? I killed Kano, now I have Sonya balls.
I feel like she was ready for it the whole time. Though.
Yeah, I have to
She's-
genuinely say that if there's one small line that she says, and mind you, I only watched the movie once. She says whenever she first gets introduced to Cole and they start actually talking about everything that's going on, she says, "I have been doing this for 7 years."
Okay, I'll buy
She
it.
has been prepping for this for 7 years, and I'm pretty sure, you know, finding links between all these dragon marks and stuff like that, you know.
I'll buy it. See, when you explain it like that, I could buy it. Like, I'm not going to question it because there's so many other things in the movie that are
Right.
worse than that. When you explain it to me, okay, she fucking killed Kano and she already knew shit, so she's throwing fucking Sonya balls right away. I could
Yeah.
buy that.
I'm not happy with
Yeah,
with-
no,
with-
she was probably the only exception when it comes to Arcana for the most part.
Well-
I actually genuinely like just said okay.
Yep.
and moved on.
Just
No.
real quick on that note,
Sure.
and maybe Koopa, you want to jump in, but I felt like Molina's character was really cool, and she was disrespected with the way she was killed. Like she got fucking killed by a fireball by Sonya, and was just it was kind of cool when you saw like her open stomach. But one, that would not really kill a person automatically, like instant death, and two, I felt like they really treated Molina like she's just another person to be killed by the main characters. Koopa, what do you say about that?
My thing goes back to the little fireball thing she shot out of her hand. That's not that. It was literally like the things that she has that shoot in the games. They're special
Yeah.
ops weapons.
Well, that's exactly what the movie did too. It's like, okay, Sonya's here now, and now she's doing this thing that she did from the game. I don't buy that shit, dude.
It's
I'm
not
a
the same at all,
moviegoer.
though. And then the whole shooting through Molina thing. That is actually one of her fatalities technically. Because what she does is her
That
hand
is
cannon,
true.
She shoots them and she shoots through and all the stuff.
All right, that's a good point. But also, I want to point out too how weak they made Cole look because Cole was getting his ass kicked by Molina, and then Sonya has to come and save his ass with a fucking fireball.
Cole, yeah, okay. Again,
Cole's
the
the 2v1
theme-
champ.
no,
2v1
the-
champ,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
The theme,
yeah.
the theme
That's exactly
of
right,
the
Evalian.
movie- The theme of the movie should have been called Mortal Kombat. Watch Cole get his ass. beat.
Honestly, that's a good point, dude. Cole got his ass beat in every fight. If it wasn't
Every
2v1, he got his
single
ass
fight.
beat in
Yeah.
every fight. And honestly, you think in the beginning of the movie he's facing an MMA fighter that's like a low-level MMA fighter or whatever, gets his ass beat. He's going to face Sub-Zero and somehow like fucking compete? Come on, dude. This dude's shooting frost out of his hands. And you're getting fucked up by a low-level MMA guy. Like that's just stupid. But that's neither here nor there. But Kano was the best, and I was going to go on another rant about something else, but I forget what it was. Okay, here's another rant. As far as the characters in the movie, I don't even know the names of these two people because they're such low-level Mortal Kombat characters. What was... Like, Cabal was cool. The other two, could you even name them? Koopa, I'll give it to you since you know the game characters. I know one of them was like in one game. And the other
Reiko
one,
and
General Reiku or whatever the
General
fuck.
Reiko
I was calling him General
and-
Zod. Like, what a pathetic Mortal Kombat character that is,
I
dude.
can't remember the chick's name, but she was in one of the games.
I
They
wrote
both
down
did in the
Shiva.
games.
She's not Shiva, though. That's the female version of Goro. What was her, the one with the wings? Nitar or something. Nitar?
Natara.
I think it's
Is it-
Natira.
Something like that, but they introduced, yeah, I think it might be Natira and General fucking Raikou or whatever the fuck.
I'm pretty sure Shang Tsung actually says her name and calls her the beautiful.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
and she literally has like 1 second of screen time, and then she
Oh,
gets
yeah.
murdered by probably one of the best parts of the movie. Kung Lao does his little fatality with the
Yes.
I think it's the
that was good.
splitting headache fatality. Actually,
Yes.
for some reason I know the name of it. I'm
It's-
pretty sure it's called
it's,
the splitting headache.
It's Natara, and no, the splitting
Natara,
headache
yeah.
is the one where he throws it into their face, and then it
Oh,
splits.
But
them. Yeah.
okay.
That's my complaint though. Like Naitara is clearly there to get sawed in half by Kung Lao. Clearly,
Right,
That's
yeah,
the
no, she
only
was-
purpose of her character, and also she's from the game too. But she's from one of the games where they introduced a new character called Naitara, and she never came back because she's a shit character. You know what I mean?
No, she was immediately removed.
So, and same, I think even worse. I do remember her from the game. The other one, the General Raikou.
Reiko
I don't even
was in
remember who the fuck that
third-
was,
He
dude.
was either in the third or the fourth one. He's one of Khan's.
So why
generals.
why are they giving Raikou more attention than Reptile, dude. Like real, like all of them are pathetic, but Reptile gets so fucked up. At least Raiku's name was fucking called Evalian. At least they Shang Tsung said General Raikou. They didn't even call Reptile.
My whole thing is like Reptile has always been like this mass deceptionist, like always like sneaking behind people's ears and kind of like misleading with misinformation and stuff like that. And if you just go in to think about like weapons and capabilities, like homie spits acid that can go through anything, and you want to take homeboy that can swing a big ass hammer. That's just my opinion. I get that in the lore he's, fucking Khan's general or whatever the hell, but like
stupid.
I think there could have been more done with Reptile, and I was very upset. Like if they'd have made Reptile be the one that talks Kano into, betraying everybody, it would have made 110% sense. I'd have been like, yep, that's Reptile. That's what he does. Yep.
I also, it's like you build like a honestly, I felt more of attachment with Kano than any other character. And I understand, from the games, Kano's a fucking complete dick. He's probably one of the baddest guys there is. But just like that, boom, now he's gonna be a traitor. Which maybe I could understand that because the lore of Kano, but still, he's the best character in the whole movie. Should have kept him around, and also he gets killed off. I thought pretty quick as well.
That was stupid. I think that was a dumb thing to do, was to kill him off.
Yeah.
They really should have kept him in.
Kano. I don't, but like he was
in that movie.
I believe he was the best character in the whole movie.
He really was
the best, well-rounded.
So I'm gonna circle around to something real quick.
Go ahead
before I forget. If you mentioned Liu Kang.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like he was a little weak.
He's a little what?
A little weak.
I mean, yeah. No, I said I think he did all right, but
I don't. I think that because if you compare the first Liu Kang to this Liu Kang.
Well, the first Liu Kang in the first movie was the main character of the movie, though. Pretty much. I mean, they had a lot of different characters, but I feel like the story is really focused on more of Liu Kang.
Right, but I'm talking like just look jacked. Like Liu Kang was really.
Look again. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, dude.
He's got them crazy little things going on, but I was talking like.
I would say he's very shredded in this movie. Yeah,
he's
shredded.
Shredded, but he's small.
But that's what Liu Kang should be, though. He's shredded and strong. He's like almost like a fucking what's the guy's name? Come on, what's the famous kung fu guy? Bruce Lee. He's almost like a Bruce Lee type deal. Yeah. So that's what he's not supposed to be fucking jacked. He's supposed to be shredded up like Bruce Lee, and that's what he was. He was shredded, dude. Look at it again.
I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't shredded. I'm just saying that if I felt like they could have, I don't know.
I didn't think he was bad.
I
think that they kind of dumped him down in the essence of Kung Lao, because Kung Lao was like.
Let's talk about that too, because that's the outrage. I think because I didn't really look, but I saw Kung Lao. He was trending on Twitter, and I think what he was trending about is people are pissed off that he was killed in the movie by Shang Tsung.
He's killed in the game.
Everybody's killed in the fucking game, dude.
No, but I mean.
I was upset.
What game, dude? Like he's back. He's like killed in one game. Fuck it. If I remember correctly, Liu Kang was a zombie in one game, and now he's back perfectly fine. So forget about what the game is.
That's because they redid the stories. But no, even when you look at when they redid the stories in the later games, Kung Lao still fucking dies.
And also, does fucking Cole come as a fucking character and be
Not
the generic
yet,
fucking dumb character?
Okay,
so forget about that.
Movie.
I feel like they disrespected Kung Lao a little bit because I feel like Kung Lao in the game, which maybe this might not be true realistically, and I don't think it's true realistically, but in the game, Kung Lao and Liu Kang are like equals, bro. You know what I mean? It's like Kung Lao's almost his bro. It's his bro right there. They're both Shaolin monks, am I right, Koopa? And they're both fucking powerful. But for some reason, Liu Kang gets all the attention, and in this movie, I feel like he just got his soul sucked out, and that was it. And I'm like, that's not cool, bro. There could have been much more build up to that, and the relationship between Liu Kang and Kung Lao, even though they did kind of establish it, I feel like that scene where he was actually getting murdered by Shang Tsung could have been drawn out a little bit more and have more emotion to it. As a movie maker.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why, Liu Kang wouldn't just chuck a fireball over there and stop that real quick.
See, that whole thing is so confusing to me, too. That whole part of the movie, like they're all like teleport. It's not even a tournament, too. Like, first of all, they're just coming into the temple, and then they're like teleporting everybody everywhere. Why was it that they couldn't save Kung Lao at that moment? That's another nitpicky thing, you know. But as far as disrespecting the video gamers, Koopa, I'm going to ask you because you are the gamer or the hardcore Mortal Kombat fan. Were you offended that Kung Lao had to die?
because I played a lot of the other games where he does die anyway, and it's kind of a catalyst for Liu Kang.
So
I
does Liu
wasn't
Kang,
as
though.
offended. No, but I mean, like in a lot of the stories where they retcon things, what pushes Liu Kang to become even stronger and like really go toe to toe with like Shao Kahn and stuff like that is the fact that Shang Tsung kills Kung Lao. I mean, Kung Lao was killed by Shang Tsung. Yeah, I think at one point he's killed by
I'm very
Shao Kahn in the
critical.
games.
I'm very critical of movies because what you just said, you know, Liu Kang gets his motivation and shit. And if you look at the scene that happens directly after that, everything, and I think this could be said for the whole movie too. It happens. I'm not saying they should draw the movie out to be longer because I know it's Mortal Kombat. You know, it's a simple, and it's not really simple, but who really gives a fuck? If you're really invested in like the intricate ways of the story, you're gonna have a bad time. But I feel like the fatality scene with Kung Lao was very short, and the scene after that, just like you said, Liu Kang gets his motivation, boom. It's like there's no mourning period at all. It's just like, all right, now we're transitioning. Now that what's the main character's fucking name that I hate? He's the
Cole.
lead. Yeah, Cole is now the leader, and he's taking charge. And Liu Kang is just gonna sit there and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go teleport to these locations, and we're gonna kill people one by one." It just all. I'm not saying I'm better than the writers of the movie because I cannot think of a better way to do that. But I feel like it happened so fucking quickly. It was like I'm not really. I could be invested more. I felt I could be invested more.
Thank you for mentioning that because that is my biggest dislike about the whole movie.
Thank you.
All of a sudden, out of freaking nowhere, you've got Liu Kang who's been training for years. You have the freaking elder god there with you, and little man Cole's gonna hop in and be like, "I have a plan. Let's do this."
That
if you
part I
also-
hated, dude. That
Okay,
part was so
so-
dumb. That part was so
Hold on,
dumb.
hold on.
Yeah.
You know that earlier on in the movie they had established that it was Scorpion's bloodline that was going to lead the champions in the tournament. They established that in the movie.
Yes,
Okay.
I got no problem with that.
So the fact that
Yeah, but it's like he's a little fucking puss the whole fucking movie, pretty much getting his ass beat. And now Liu Kang and everybody else can be like, "Yeah, Cole, you're now the leader." I don't think so, pal. No offense. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look to Liu Kang or even Sonya or Jax or anybody else but Cole, pretty much. Mostly Liu Kang, because the whole movie is really filled, and I'm not saying I could do it any better because you don't really want to focus on what the actual lore and story of Mortal Kombat is. But the whole movie is not the whole movie, but in between fight scenes. And Koopa, you're laughing because I'm critiquing it too hard, I think, for you.
No, I was laughing because I laughed because you're like, I'm not saying I could do better.
I'm not saying I could do better.
I'm waiting for the butt.
But if you watch that movie again, a lot of the movie is exposition scenes. Like the whole, when he first meets Sonya, it's like Sonya's going over the backstory of what Mortal Kombat is, which I understand. You don't want to focus a whole lot of runtime to what Mortal Kombat is. Everybody that's a fan of the game knows what Mortal Kombat is. But even that scene that we're talking about right now, where they like appear in that white fucking thing, where they're like in limbo or something, and Raiden's like, "Hey, this is the fucking world in between. We could have appeared here before, but you know what? Let's do it now that fucking Kung Lao's dead and we're in trouble. We could have done that way before." And now fucking this other dude, Cole, is going to be like, "You know what? We could have done this the whole time, but let's just teleport exactly to where these people are and kill them." And that's what really the rest of the movie kind of plays out.